TikTok. Let's get us up. Where are we? Yes, we should be live. Let me open up the stream. Alright, okay, I see myself. Oh, they've updated it on the PC version. I see, okay. This is different. It looks so much... It seems like my stream quality's gotten even better, even on my PC. Which is great, because it means you guys can see way more detail now. Which is excellent. Hello everyone, welcome back to the live stream. It's been a while since I last live streams. So I appreciate you guys all coming back in and joining us again. I've been super busy recently and I've just not had the time or energy to really live stream, I'll be honest. So it's the one day I don't feel extremely tired and I feel like I can communicate with you all. Because sometimes what you find is just my energy just completely drains. I feel like I have no energy to talk on stream. So it's been a while, because I think the last time I live streamed was during a colour page, if I remember correctly. I think that was the last time I live streamed. So I think this is the first black and white page you've seen me drawn for chapter 12. So it's nice to be back. It's nice to be back drawing in black and white, folks. But yeah, I said hopefully you guys can just join me today. We'll just have a very chill time. We'll see if we can get this page inked, if not toned today. I mean, I'd like to get it done because I'll be spending all of my day tomorrow just doing script writing for the webtoon project I'm hired to do at the moment. So it'd be nice if I can get this page done and released tonight if I can. But yeah, we'll wait and see. We'll see how far we get to. Wow, the art looks so cool so far. Thank you so much. Yeah, sorry, this is the entire page. I'm currently zoomed quite far into it, but yeah, we're just inking this page for my manga at the moment. So that's what I'm working on. But no, I was just saying, like, I've just... It's been a while since I've live streamed, but since I've live streamed last, they've updated the PC version of what you can kind of see on a live. And it just looks so much higher quality. So I don't know if TikTok's changed, like, the video quality. I don't know how it looks like on mobile, but it looks so much better quality now, the live stream. But yeah, I don't know if it's just because I did an update on my phone or something. I just don't know what happened there. But I'm glad it looks better. Thanks for all the likes, folks. I really appreciate it. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. It's been a while since I live streamed, so I apologize. I just need to get back into the groove of speaking again. And I was saying, I think the last time I live streamed was during a colour manga page. Usually I draw in black and white, which is what I'm doing with this page currently. But I think the last time I live streamed, I was working on the colour page. So it's been, I think that was about 7 pages ago. So. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Hope you're all doing well. How are you doing, Dino? Okay, bring that down that way. Actually, I might get... Is Larkin's ref here? Let me have a look. Larkin. Where's your ref sheet? I've got too many ref sheets. Alright, there we go. So we want this indoor one. And put that down there. Thanks for all the likes, folks. I really appreciate it. Malachi. Put that down there. Put it down that way. Right. And then drop his rings in. Draw his fingers in. It's pretty far zoomed in here, so as long as we get those general silhouette in, I think that's the main thing really for this. Right, and then this is for the rest of his palm going down that way. Okay. That goes down that way. Bring that down that way. Oh my word, we're at 1k likes. Thank you so much. I don't know who's spamming, but I appreciate it. It really helps the stream out, so I appreciate it. Bring that down that way. And swing that down that way. And bring the fabric down. Ba-ba-da-ba-bum. Go down here. Right, and then a few some rings down here. And same with down here. Thanks for all the likes, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Ooh, my word. Okay, let's bring this down there. Actually, I'm just going to quickly just minimize that slightly. Right, and then that looks to go down there. And then that should go up that way. Put that down there. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Right, and then we should see some of the metal on his arms down here. So let's just draw the rest of his shawl in. Bring that down that way. Ay, ay, ay. There's so much fabric he has on him. And put his pendant in. If it's going to allow me to do that, please. Right, and then that needs to go all the way down towards his arms. Pecs, a collarbone. I need that down, that down. Right, and then his shoulders should be down there somewhere. I forgot to draw in the sketch, but it should be there. Put that down that way. And then if we draw his earrings in. I tried finding you, but for some reason I could, but you found me. I couldn't. Sorry. Oh, you couldn't. For some reason I couldn't, but you found me, so yay. I need to get used to reading comments again. But no, thank you. Thank you very much. Right, and then put that in. Oh my word, if we put that down there, we'll put all the shadow in down there then. Okay. Alright, and then we draw his hair in. This stupid ass haircut. Put that in. Oh, put that down that way, down there. Is that a Huion tablet? I wish I could buy. No, it's the Wacom tablet, so it's even more expensive. Yeah, it's a Wacom 32 I can't remember the type version it is, but it's a Cintiq 32. There's literally only 32 out there on the market, so... but yeah, I love this thing. This is my baby. I wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world, honestly. And then over here, you can kind of see on this other screen over here, that's my Wacom 28. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Apple iPad Air with Pencil Pro and Procreate is good as well. Yes, I've got that as well, and that is more than enough to get you started, honestly. I mean, I know several people who literally only work on iPad and Clip Studio Paint for their manga projects, so... but yeah, I just much prefer the sensation, personally, for myself, on PC, so... But yeah, it's totally personal preference. But I mean, I started off with digital art with just an iPad on my finger. That's literally how I started with my digital art journey. I mean, and that I think I did that for like at least 6 years, probably around 6 years. And I'd never had an Apple Pencil because they weren't available when I was younger. Having an Apple Pencil, so. Alright, and then draw the eyebrows in. But yeah, I mean, I've used a lot of different tablets over the years. I mean, I think, obviously, I worked with my iPad first with my finger and stuff, and then I got a Wacom Intuos, which is like one of those tablets that don't have a screen on them, so you just draw on the pad and it then appears on the PC, which I tried to use, but my hand-to-eye coordination with that device was just horrendous. I could not draw with it. It was like impossible for me to draw with. I hated it so much that I went back to my iPad, and then I just used the tablet to play OS instead. And it wasn't until I got my Wacom 13 that I started drawing properly on PC. Just building this up. Bring that up slightly. Alright, and then that needs to go down there. Right, okay, and then if you put a white background behind that, I'll do it in black so I can see a bit easier if I filled everything in. Okay, if I do that, let's reduce the opacity of that. Is there any gaps that I need to remove? Well, over here, definitely I need to remove that. I think we're all good. Oh, actually, technically, it should be fine like that. So I could just be shadowing his shawl. So, okay, and now if we convert that back to white, like so. Okay, and then whack it back to 100, where, hey. Okay, let's draw the background for this panel now. What app are you using to draw? I'm using an app called Clip Studio Paint, but specifically I'm using the EX version, which is like the more professional version of Clip Studio Paint. So it's a lot more expensive than just the standard version, but I really only recommend getting like my version of Clip Studio Paint if you're really serious about making comics. Like, for anything else in Clip Studio Paint, like even with like illustrations and stuff, like having just the normal version of Clip Studio Paint is like more than, you know, more than good. And I would only say to upgrade if you're serious about making comics, or if you're doing animation in Clip Studio Paint. But I feel like at that point, if you're doing animation in Clip Studio Paint, you're better going for that proper animation piece of software. But yeah. Right, so that goes on there. Okay, thank you, no problem. I said I'm more than happy to answer any questions you guys have. I love questions. Thank you for so much for the follow. I really appreciate it, Vera. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I said I think I've got a like a 3D pen thing for the Wacom 32. Like it's like a specific pen. Like I don't know. I found it the other day because I completely forgot. I got it when I got my Cintiq 32. I don't know. Sorry, I'm just moving my stuff. I don't know if I can show it. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I've got it in my top drawer. Sorry, let me move you guys back to where you're supposed to be. I think it was like here or something. I can't remember. Like here. Yeah, I've got like this pen, which is like specifically for 3D. But like I literally do not know how to use it. But yeah, it's designed for 3D work. But yeah, I've got no clue. I did try to investigate it, but I still don't really get it. But I mean, it's for 3D, so. But yeah, it's like this massive thing. I don't know how to use it. Right, okay, so that's the background down there. Okay, I think we can reduce the line weight slightly for this. Okay, and then we can probably... Oh, actually, I don't think we need to do an outline on the characters here. I think this should be alright. Okay, so let's just cut that off for a sec. Let's make a last mask on the sketch layer here. There we go. Right. Thanks for all the likes, folks. I really appreciate it. Right, where do I even start with this? I guess we can do the door frame here. I just want to put a little bit of the door in because Malachi is leaning back at this in this panel, so I kind of like cut some of the door and the wall away for this panel, just so we can see everyone. But I've also brought like Fletcher and Larkin back a bit to how they are in this room. It's just fit everyone in. I just did a bit of manipulation with perspective here. Right, I think if I draw his jewelry in first. Oh my word. Put that in. I think my stabilization is like way too high at the moment. That should be better. Right, and that goes down there. That goes down that way. Right, and we put that on here. Draw the side profile all in. Put that all in. Alright, and then how are we going to do the hair here? I think if I just follow my guidelines as best as possible, I think that would be the best outcome. Bring that down. Hi, how do you put the purple background out later? Oh, do you mean like this area here? This is all like a frame mask. So if I clicked outside the frame folder, it will just go back to white. So it's not actually purple, but whenever you see this purple layer on, it means I can't draw into the purple area. So it just keeps everything within the panels. So that's the purpose of it. So yeah, it's kind of similar to how a mask is. in art programs, but it's just a bit more visual for me. Oh right, that'll be no problem. Oh yeah, it's fancy Clip Studio Paint stuff. It's very handy Clip Studio Paint for making comics. And that's like one of the features that you don't tend to find on other art programs. I think there might be a setting even to change the colour of it, but I haven't really investigated that. But I'm pretty sure you can change the colour of it too. Okay, so that's that. Let's get Fletcher here. Fletcher, I think I got his hair guide up actually. I'll go up that way, lift it up a little bit, go down that way, up here. Alright, and then put the drawer in. Do. I want to start learning, I want to start drawing my webtoon on Clip Studio Paint, but I don't know how. It takes a while. I would honestly recommend, like, even before, like, you start drawing that webtoon, I would recommend just to trial, like, some, like, test pages with Clip Studio Paint, just so you can get a feel on how the program works, figure things out, you know, figure out your working process on Clip Studio Paint. Because I will say, like, for producing a webtoon, like, organization is your best friend when you're working on those long strips. Yeah, I said I definitely recommend to just do some test stuff. Like, you know, you could test, like, certain scenes from your manga, or webtoon, I should say, before you actually start with it for real. Because something that I think a lot of webtoon creators do and don't realise is, like, they start drawing their webtoon and then they realise how much time it takes to produce a page, and then they feel like they should have simplified their art style a bit, and they regret not doing that at the beginning. But obviously, if you, like, reduce your art style and the detail in your art style all sudden in your webtoon, people will be like, why is it so different? Like, why is it not as high quality? And so, you know, it's best just to keep it as simple as you can. And so you're not disappointing viewers. And then you can always increase the quality if you find, like, you're getting more time. Like, I find I'm getting quicker at drawing my pages the more I draw my manga, right? So it means that my pages can also become higher quality because I have more time to work on them. So, yeah, it's a fine balancing act. But, I mean, I've drawn over 400, almost 450 manga pages now, so for this certain project. Oh, I have another question. Where do you have your character? Where do you put your character designs? Do you mean in my program, or, like, where do I keep all, like, my character designs? Because I keep my character designs on my PC, but also I keep them on Toy House as well. So, like, my readers can go and find their character sheets if they want to draw fan art. Which I know people find very helpful to have to hand. My readers to have to hand if they want to look at the ref sheets for whatever reason. Actually, I need to get Fletcher's ref sheet up. Oh, in your program, yeah. So what I've done here essentially is you could kind of just drag an image file to your Clip Studio. So, for example, if I wanted to get Elowen's character sheet up, I'll just drag it to my clip and it just opens up as an image file. That's how I do it from that. But then you can drag out their reference sheet. So if I drag from the tab up here, I don't know if you can see it, you can just drag it out, and then you can show you like this red box. You can just lift your mouse pad up, and then it just comes up as a separate window. And then, you know, you can add it to like all the same windows and stuff. Kind of like how a browser works, you know. Oh, well, it looks so professional. You're a webtoon, thank you. I said, I usually work in black and white, but recently for chapter 12, like the first 6 pages of chapter 12 is all in color, which is really unusual. My readers know that's very unusual for me to do color. But like, I enjoy working in color. I just don't want to be working in color all the time. But unfortunately, I feel like on webtoon, the expectation is to have like a color webtoon. But yeah, it's just unfortunately I just my comic isn't in color. It's mostly in black and white and screen tones. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really. Well, actually, let me get my volume 1 out. I know my volume 1 out's a bit old now, but like I can show you some like my finished pages. I don't know if you can see because it's pretty dark in my room. But yeah, it's like I just use screen tones. So yeah, and I even do double spreads from time to time too. So yeah, I'll put that in. The art style is so professional and good drawn. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm a one-man team, so I do everything myself. Like the only people that help me out is my test readers. So that's literally the only help I have. Put that in. I wish I could draw like that, thank you. I said it's taken me a very long time to get to where my art style is now. I've been drawing for over 10 years now, so even then, like, my art's not perfect, you know. There's a lot of improvement to my art I can do, like, especially anatomy wise. I'm still very, I'm like mid. I'm mid at, you know. Like, there's definitely areas I can improve on. I'll put that down that way. Right, draw the Titan. Put that in. Right, and then put that in. Put that in. Thank you for the follow, I really appreciate it. Alright, draw this to flow offwards. Alright, and then this tiny needs to go all the way down. Put that in. Alright, and that goes on that way. Let's draw some folds in. Alright, and then let's draw the other shoulder in now. And now the arm. Put that in. Right, and then that should be down there. And let me just quickly flip the canvas here. I might need to come up slightly this arm, and sorry, the shoulder needs to come up a bit. Right, and that can come a little sooner then. Like so. And then I feel like we can have one going upwards actually instead of downwards. I think it's just balance the volume of that side a bit more. Right, and then we've got Larkin. Where's Larkin? Here we go. Oh yeah, just a reminder folks, I do have a Discord server, so if you're a fan of my work, and you just want to chat and chill somewhere, I do have a Discord server, so if you want to find it, it is in the link in my bio, along with anything else, because I don't just purely exist on TikTok. I feel like that might be quite obvious though, but yeah, if I do have a Discord server, if you do fancy joining that too. I have a lot of readers on there, I've got fellow manga artists on there, like, it is a pretty vibey community. Right, and that goes down that way. Bring that on there. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Right, and then draw the rest of this pony. Going it down that way. I feel like this nose can be a bit better. Just come out a bit more. Right, and then his neck scarf, we put that in, and then draw the vest here. Right, and then if you draw the rest of this neck scarf in. Alright, and then the rest of his vest can be plunked in now. Right, that goes on that way. Right, and then the rest of this arm needs to go down now. Alright, and then we've got another seam line down here. Right, and then we've got his trousers down here. Dun, 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 dun. Right, okay, and then if we plug a white background behind all of this, so we do that. Okay, and then that can go, we can include the door frame in this as well. Right, and then let's see if there's any gaps. Yes. So we need to get rid of that one. Is there anything else? That's obvious. I don't think there is... Oh, I think I just forgot to draw the hand down here, actually, on marking. Yeah. Let me finish drawing his hand off. It's like 2 lines. There you go. I'll put that down there. Brilliant. Okay. And then we need to draw this background in. And then we need to do Riki's chibi face up here too. And actually, I don't know. Can I reduce the size just a piece for just a tad? Just to make it fit on the page a bit better, that's all. I think we could do that. Right, new vector layer. And then let's get my line out pen for the background going. Okay, so let's draw this chair down here. And what I'll do, I'll reduce the line width of the background and the foreground and the characters and stuff at the end. I'm just going to get it all put down first. I'm not too worried about the line width of everything at the moment. That can all be changed. Put that down. Thanks for all the follows and likes, folks. I really appreciate it. Right, and bring that downwards. Alright, so that's some of it. Let's draw the desk over here. Oh, we'll draw the chair for the desk over here first. Bring that upwards, bring that upwards. Right, and then down here. Right, and then we've got the fireplace over here. So I'm just going to draw the fence thing here. Right, and then we've got another one going on there. And then if I just draw this one manually. Alright, and then we put that in down there. Oh, actually, this is going to be its own pattern on the fireplace, isn't it? Right, and then we've got the objects to draw in here next. Which I'll do by hand. Right, so if we bring that down that way. I don't think I need to necessarily draw all the detail lines in here. I think as long as I get the general shape down, I think that's the main thing rather than adding needless details with how it forms and stuff. So bring that down that way. Like that. Right, and then I've got the top of this. Right, and then we've got the timer. Tiny details. Right, that goes down that way. Brilliant. Alright, so that's all the objects drawn on that. Right, and then we've got the cabinet over here. Put that down. Let's clean that up. that goes down that way. We bring this up. Right, and then draw all the other lines that need to be on here. Ooh, so many lines with backgrounds. Alright, and then I did want to draw some books on here, but I just think because of the distance, I don't think it's worth drawing them. So I think I may ignore them, honestly. Drawing books here on the shelves. So that goes all the way down there. Right, and then these lines need to go across. We need a straight line up here. Okay, and then everything else I think I need to draw by hand on this cabinet. Well, what screen is this? It's a Cintiq 32, so it's a 30... Oh no, 30 not... Yeah, it is 32 inch. Yeah, it's a 32 inch screen. So you're not seeing all of it, because I've got a lot more detail over here that you can't see. But yeah, it's a 32 inch. Right, and then through that way. Right, and then that goes here, all the way down. Way. Well, that's mad. I've been using my iPad. It's not big enough. I keep it big enough. Thank you. I feel you. I said I started out with an iPad. So the apple does not fall far from the tree. I started out with like, I don't even know what size iPad it would have been, but I mean it was pretty small. I think did I start with an iPad mini? I've got a feeling I started out with an iPad mini. So obviously over time I've definitely gotten bigger in my devices. Right, and then there's a pillow here. Down there. Okay. And then you got the upper floorboards here. And then you've got the grandfather clock over here, but I'm not drawing all the detail on it because there's no need. Especially when half of it's in the bleed area. Ooh, actually, I'm just realising that part of his hair is not in white. Let me just fix that up. Nice. I've got 11 inch. I think it's I think, but it's still small. Yeah, I think I've got an 11 inch iPad as well. Don't know if you can grab it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is 11. So obviously you can see size comparison wise, it's so much bigger. My Cintiq. How long does it take you to draw a piece on there? Depends on the complexity of the page. I feel like this is what I always answer. But yeah, it really does depend on the complexity of the page. But usually on a black and white page, it's about 6 to 8 hours. I mean, I can see how long I've been doing this one for. What was it going to say? What is it? Information. Yeah, so I've been working on this one for 3 hours and 32 minutes. But obviously, I'm like in the middle of line art at the moment, so... Also, and we definitely need to increase the line width on the characters in this panel, so I'll note that down in my mind to do once we draw the grandfather clock in. Right, and then bring that down here. Okay. And then we technically got the floorboards down here. Oh, and then this is not in white. Why is it not in white? It should be in white. Why? Thank you. There we go. Right, and then that can go all the way back then. Same with that one. Same with over here. So if you draw a floorboard here, floorboard there. Spin a line down here. We draw the fake floorboard there. Maybe a floorboard here, a floorboard there. Okay, and then if we increase the character line art, so if we do that, and then I'll do a white halo effect anyway to make the character stand out from the background once we get to screen tones, but at the moment I'm just gonna leave it with what I've done here. I'm just gonna tidy up the border edges like so. Okay, and then that should be pretty even then. There we go. Well, actually, is there any on this bubble? Yeah, there is. Can I just remove that? There we go. Okay, and then we need to do the chibi head for Rukia. I don't think I've done a chibi head for her before. So let me just work on this on a new canvas for a sec. Because if I just put that in a folder, we just need to draw Rukia here. How am I gonna do? How am I gonna draw her? Okay, so she's got her bow. So if we draw her bow in, oh, actually, I should probably do this on the vector layer. So if we draw the inner part of her bow, probably make it fairly big for a chibi. And then her hair comes down here, place upwards like so, and then it comes down. Well, technically she's got the metal bars here. Right, and then if you draw that around here. Nice, incredible, thank you. Yeah, I said I've definitely gotten quicker with drawing manga pages. I mean, I hope I did after drawing over 400 pages. So, right, and then we draw her ear. We draw that down. Honestly, we could probably just keep this expression. I don't really need to change it that much. Alright, and then she's got eyelashes going down there. Down there. Then we bring her face in there. Okay, and then this is the eye shape, I mean, for Rukia really anyway, so like that. And bring that up as well. Like that. Let's flip the camera over for a sec. Something like that maybe. And then draw something like that. Okay, and then if we draw her eyelashes in. We'll probably need to have them low on this chibi. Maybe have one further that way. Like so. Bring that downwards. Alright, and then she's got crazy curly hair as well, so we need to draw that in. So how are we going to draw her hair? I did not think this far about that. Alright, so we know her hair's going to be pulled back here. I wonder if I got a simple like curl brush maybe. I should probably do. I guess we can go with a simple coil. I think the simple coil is probably the way to go. like so. I think that would do. Okay, and then I think what I might do, I might just screen tone it here already. But I'm just gonna quickly thicken around the edges of this, because I think, yeah, okay, so if I do a black outline and then it just looks like everything else here. Okay, and then if we throw a white behind this, and then we know this is going to be 70 on here. Oh, it's going to look a bit odd because I'm on a very large canvas at the moment, so that goes into here. Same with our eyebrows. Right, and same with our eyes actually, and then we know there's a bit more of a circle on the highlights here. We know this is going to be black. If my Discord notifications go away, thank you very much. Right, okay, and then we need shadows, so if we're going to put 90 down in here. Right, and then go down here. Actually, I'll just pick another another brush that's a bit nicer to shade with. Go down there. Put shadow under that bow. Right, and that goes down that way. Right, and then we'll just put some simple shadows into the hair here. Right, and then put a little bit of a shadow down here. There we go. Okay, and we just continue onwards. Right, and then we need another big shadow go down here. I haven't been asked to do like a robot authentication yet, which I'm like kind of preparing myself for it because I'm pretty sure I'm almost in an hour into the live stream now, so it should come fairly soon. Right, and then we put that down there. We're almost there. Oh my word. Okay, and then we put that back on, and then we can draw the highlights. Like so. Put one up here, and then we'll put some up here. Like so. Okay, and then her bow is going to be 50. Okay. And then she's got like a little line pattern down it too. Like so. Okay, and then her skin is going to be 30. Like so. If it allows me to fill it all in. Then if we get rid of sort of the wipe off her eyes. Put that down there. Right, and then we can also include that for her mouth. Okay, I mean we could do shading underneath her hair, but I think it's fine how it is. Okay, and what we want to do, we want to try and refer this back to our manga page now. So if I call this Ruthia Head, this folder, I'm just going to dump all of her stuff into this folder. We're going to copy and paste that folder back into our manga page here. And then, voila, and then the screen change should resize to what we want. I might have to tilt her a little bit. Now I'm going to put her in here. Because really I don't want to change the bubble too much. I might have to tilt her that way. Just a little bit away from the text. Probably exactly where I drew that sketch actually. I think that's fine. And then we could probably put like a little white outline around her. So if we do like 10, okay, maybe 100's too much. I just meant 10. There we go. Then it just overlaps that bubble a bit. Great. Okay, so if we take that out now. And then if we rub that out, oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, we want to get that one rid of. There we go. Right, okay, and then we've got some simple manga panels over here, which are just close-ups, so they should be quite easy to do. So if we do P3, select layer, heap into, where's Malachi's rough sheet? You know, there's some horrible songs playing at the moment on my playlist. Let me just... What is this image? What is this front cover image? It's not even on my playlist. What should I play? Right, and then we put that up. Put that down. Okay, and then if we put the metal down here. Do you have the whole story already planned out, or do you kind of make it up as you go? No, for this manga, I have it all planned out. I'm almost actually at the end of arc 1. This is the final chapter for arc 1, so I'm pretty much there with the first story of my manga. But the webtoon project I'm script writing for, we write it as we go. So I do both at the moment. But like for my personal projects, I do have everything planned out. But the commercial projects are a bit different. Right, let's put that that way. Put that in first and then bring that up. And draw the rest of his hair in. Right, and then fill that around a bit. Oh, my robot authentication came up. 1 second. Let me answer this. Well, hey, there we go. All good. Right, and then we bring that down. Alright, and bring that downwards. Alright, and then draw the nose in. Put that in. Right, and then that should be all black then, so if we just quickly fill that in with black. Right, and then eyebrow bone. Go that way. Oh, it's really warm in my room now. It used to be really cold and now it's really warm and I'm kind of boiling. Alright, eyelid in, eyebrow bone. Right, and then that goes all the way up. Draw the eyelashes in, draw the rest of the eye in. Right, and then put that in, and then we want some folds from the eyebrow here. Because I wanted to kind of make him a little bit angrier in this panel than how I drew him in the sketch, and I think he looks a bit more angrier now. Just a slight adjustments, but they make a big impact. Okay. Right, and that is his neckline. Adam's apple neckline. Right, and then that's the rest of his shawl. Okay, that's easy enough. Obviously the quickest panel so far, and then we've got Rukia down here, so let's make a new folder, P4. Now I could use a symmetry tool on Rukia here, but I think it looks a bit more natural if I draw it myself instead of using a symmetry tool. Put that up. What's her hair? So her hair should be more down here. So her eyebrow should have more room to go into. Right, and then draw her nose in. Right, and then draw her eyelashes in. Something like that. Right, and then a bow. that down there. Right, and then we should draw her ear in. Right, and then we want that wall to go, and then we want this to be pulled back. We want that to go down that way. Put that down there. We'll bring the drawer up slightly there. Right, and then we've got these metal parts, and I apologize, I don't have Rukia's ref on the corner here. There you go, that's what she looks like. Oh dear. Oh. Ah. Right. Let's not lose myself here. Okay, let's draw everything else in. Right, and then if we draw black shadow in. Right, and then draw that in. Right, and then we want to put this all the way inwards. Put the folds in. Okay, and then, oh, you know what I forgot to do for both of these characters? I forgot to put the shadows under the legs. Let me do that real quick. So, technically, if Malachi's shadows are going to be there, then Ruki's needs to be over here. So let me just quickly put those in. So we'll do that. Oh, okay. I need to select more area here. Like so. There we go. Right, and then Rukia. Ay, ay, ay. Right, so not second, right at the areas. There we go. Right, I'm not happy with this eye. I think we get rid of this one and redraw that one as well. Hello, what tablet do you draw on? I draw on a Cintiq 32 by Wacom. So I'm using a Wacom tablet currently. So it's very giant. Okay, and then we need to draw Rukia's hair here. Let's get the brush out. Where's the hairbrushes? I always use them. Here we go. Okay, now if we go onto this bottom panel now, it's really big, yeah, it's very big. Like, this is like the standard size iPad, and yeah, that's it compared to my screen. Right, and then we get rid of that. Ooh, and I'm also realizing up here with Larkin, we're missing his shadow. Because he needs to have a neckline down there. And then I think we can show some of the Adam apple starting down here. Go like that. Okay, how am I going to draw this panel? I guess I start with Malachi first. Right, go down that way. Put that all the way in. And then he's got the jewelry down there. There we go. Put it on there. Right, and then bring that down that way. Actually, that hair won't go down that far. Okay, bring that down that way. Then hopefully we should have just a few strays going outwards. Like so. Hello, hello, how are you doing, Alex? Apologies, I'm very zoomed in at the moment. But I am working on Malachi's face at the moment. Right, and then that needs to come down that way. That's fine. Does your manga have success? Yeah, I would say so. I'm almost done with volume 2. I've drawn over 400 pages for it. I have over 1,000 webtoon subscribers. I feel like I'm doing a decent job, considering I have not formatted my manga for webtoon format. So for it to do well on a page-by-page upload basis on webtoon is pretty good going, in my opinion. Like, I have quite a small fan base. But it's a very, very nice small fan base. But yeah, I would say I'm quite successful. I get fan art occasionally and edits occasionally too, so. What genre is your manga? It's like a crime supernatural manga, set in the Victorian era, in a place called Bath in England. Right, and then I'm just going to increase the line way around Malachi's face down here. Thanks for the follow, Alex. I really appreciate it. I want to create my own manga too, but I can't draw. I tried, but nothing. I wish I could draw like you. Thank you. Is that I've been drawing manga for a very long time. Like, I've been working on the Thieves stuff and there for like almost 3 years. It's coming up to the 3-year mark since I've started working and planning the Thieves stuff and there. But I mean, I've been drawing comics for about 5 years now, I think. So it's taken me a while to get to this point, but like my art with how it is now is not the same as it was when I started the Thieves stuff and that. Like, my art at the start of the Thieves stuff and that was pretty like mediocre. It was alright, but it's a lot more appealing nowadays. So. But yeah, it takes a while, but I've been drawing for 10 years, so I've been practicing for a long time. That's cool, I have family in that area? No idea. I said I live in Wiltshire, so I'm not far from Bath. So it's quite a nice location for me to set it because I live quite nearby, so it means I can get reference imagery very easily. Right, Larkin. He's got a different hairstyle currently. Is this your full-time job? Do you do anything else? Yeah, I do everything. So, apart from drawing the Thieves stuff and deaf, I am also a part-time library assistant. So I work in the libraries, essentially. And I've also got a part-time gig doing script writing for an upcoming webtoon project that I cannot talk about because I'm under an NDA. So I apologize, I can't really expand more on that webtoon project, but I will say it's very well funded, you know, so it's with a good company. But that's all I can say about it. But I should be able to say more about it soon. But I can't give you a release date. But I've been working hard on that for like the last few months. I started back in like May time-ish. So yeah. But yeah, there should be more news on that soon, hopefully. But yeah, I can't tell you when. Sounds exciting, yeah. It said again, I can't really showcase any details or explain too much about it. But yeah. I can't really share it all with everyone. I think it should be quite a fun, exciting project. And I hope really a lot of people will enjoy it. I will say that like the project I'm working on at the moment, the webtoon project, is I think appealing to a wider audience than the Thieves stuff and deaf is. Like, I feel like the Thieves stuff and deaf is maybe a little bit more niche than the webtoon project I'm working on. But yeah, as soon as I'm able to speak about it, I will definitely speak about it. But I was originally, you know, I got hired for that project because of TikTok. Like, the person who hired me found like one of my TikTok videos and reached out to me and asked if I could work on their webtoon project. So because of that, the rest is history. And now I've been working with them for almost 6 months now, which is kind of crazy. Thank you so much for the follows. I really appreciate it. Have you read my favorite manga, Bokuyaba, or its English name, The Dangers in My Heart? No, I haven't heard of that before. Like, what sort of genre is it? I am very much like the sort of mangas I'm into is like The Grey Man, South the End, what else? Custody of Vanitas, Black Butler, like those sort of series I'm really into. I really like Natsume's Book of Friends, so. Ooh, okay. I accidentally moved off there. But yeah, I should say, I have a Discord server, folks. So if you guys just want to chill and hang out with some of my readers, some fellow manga artists, or just some artist friends in general who just like my work, I do have a Discord server. If you did want to join, we're very chill over there. Bring that upwards. Thank you so much for all the likes, folks. I really appreciate it. You tell I'm getting tired because I cannot pronunciate my words anymore. It's Romacom. It's so good. I'm telling you, it's one of the most popular recent romance anime. Oh, I see. Okay. I'm not really big into romance, but I haven't seen a rom-com in a very long time, to be fair. So, like, I think you got like to kind of give you like an idea. Like my favorite like romance anime I've seen, and I've got the manga series for it as well. Is Snow White with the red hair. So. Put that in. But yeah, I said like my favorite anime of all time is a series called Kyo Kara Reba, which came out in the 90s. So usually when I say that, people have never heard of it. So usually I just say my favorite anime is D Grey Man. I remember reading Given when it first kind of started releasing, and it wasn't really big at all when Given came out in the manga, like English manga sphere. Like it kind of just filtered into like every other BL at that point, but it's nice to kind of get the attention recognition it deserves these days. I think the anime adaptation really helped out. I can't believe you only have 5 years. The live is amazing. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's actually the first time I've live streamed in a very long time. But like I've explained, I have like 2 other things I'm doing on the side, and so when I've done those 2 things, when it comes to like drawing my own manga, I'm really not in the mood usually to live stream what I'm drawing. So usually I just upload pages to Webtoon, kind of under the radar. I posted in my Discord that I've released a page and stuff, but like usually I keep kind of under the radar with pages recently. But I used to live stream a lot more. So I used to have a lot more like returning viewers, as you will. But like all of them are just chilling on my Discord server now, which I don't mind. Not everyone has the time to check out the lives. Right, I put that in white. Alright, get rid of that. I don't believe you. Must be distracting. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, that's one other thing with life. It's like I get very easily distracted, especially if I'm explaining something to someone about like my manga process. Like I don't mind like chatting and answering questions and showing people how I produce my manga and stuff like that. That does not bother me. But obviously, when you're getting distracted all the time when you're drawing a manga page, it takes a lot longer. But yeah, I think I said before to folks that last time I live streamed was doing a color page. I can't remember which color page it was, but I can show you how much I've done since then, which is a lot. I've done a lot of pages since then, but I'll also show you what my art looks like when it's done. I don't feel like my line art really does it justice. My art usually, but yeah, these are my thumbnails on the left, so you can see they're a bit crap. Yeah, this is kind of how it usually looks like once it's finished. So there's a lot more screen toning going on. And then, yeah, these used to be my colour pages. I can't remember which colour page I was working on before on live. It might be this page, or it's like one of these two pages. I cannot remember, but it's been a while. But yeah, it's definitely been like over 10 pages since I last live streamed, I think. so I think it's my bad for, you know, not live streaming in a long time. Did your manga have physical copies? Yes. And the chapter I'm drawing at the moment is the final chapter for volume 2. But I do have a physical edition of my manga, and you really can't see it because it's so dark in my room. Let me turn that light on. Give me one sec. There we go. There's a light on now. But yeah, there you go. That's the cover of my manga. So that's volume 1. So that contains chapters 1 to 6, but it has all of my earlier art in the manga in here. But yeah, I do have a whole book out. But hopefully a second book out very soon as well. So, which I can't wait, because it means the first arc is in those first 2 books, which I don't know how I managed to do that, but it timed really well. Right, and then we've got Rukia, so let's finish drawing Rukia here. Rukia. Oh, get this song out of here. I like Spice Girls, but not that song really. Is there really nice songs? I'll just get some hope going. What is this? Can we please explain our just game? Yeah, so essentially you follow a downtrodden scientist called Larkin, who is this character here, who is obviously not screen turned at the moment. Let's see if I can get him up here. Yeah, so this is Larkin. This is the main protagonist you follow in the Thieves of Death. And essentially, he discovers this mysterious book that leads him down a path of mystery, magic, and murder. And essentially, one night he's attacked by a vampire being, but he's saved by someone called the Golden Thief, who is this person here. But that's that ref. There you go. This person here, also known as Fletcher. And essentially they discover the next day that Larkin's boss has been murdered. And Larkin's boss has been plagiarizing all of Larkin's hard work. So essentially, the general gist of the first arc of the Thieves of Death is that Larkin and Fletcher go and discover who murdered his boss and clear Larkin's name for murder, whilst also being exposed to this whole magical world. It's set in Victorian era Bath in the UK. So yeah, the whole thing. But if you kind of like series like Black Butler, Case Study of Anatas, Bungo Stray Dogs, those sort of series, like you're probably like my series. I think that's probably the closest comparisons. Or if you like Moriarty, you're probably like my series. How don't you lose motivations, etc. for drawing your manga? I'm starting my own manga, but I never want to draw after I'm done with my school studies and homework. I feel you. Keeping motivated is really difficult. But for me, it's like, I'm always like, this is why I kind of pre-plan my manga, because if I pre-plan my manga and what scenes happen in the story and stuff, then I look forward to drawing those future scenes. Like, I have to be excited about future scenes that come up. Like, there has to be at least one scene in the upcoming chapter that I'm really looking forward to. But like, I think the key is that, you know, all your scenes that you're drawing, you need to enjoy in some way. Like, there has to be a reason why you're enjoying them, because if you're not enjoying them, then, you know, how your reader's going to enjoy it. I feel like that's the attitude you need to put towards it. But yeah, it's difficult. But I think that's when your writing really comes into play, and it's like, oh, I really want to see this page drawn. So if I only draw like you know, 6 more pages and I can get to this scene and finally draw it. And I think that keeps me motivated. But also, my readers keep me motivated. I've got a steady fan base now of readers, and I really appreciate it. I love my readers. They keep me motivated. I really look forward to seeing their comments on the pages I upload onto Webtoon and other platforms, and hearing their opinions, and obviously them drawing banner and stuff really keeps me motivated. And I just like hearing people's opinions about what's happening. But yeah, I said I've been building our audience up for about 2 years now, so it's taken a while to build that community. But it's like there's reasons why I've like created Discord servers and stuff like that. It's just to keep in touch with my viewers and my readers. Oh, and also, I'm friends with a lot of other manga artists, Western manga artists, and they keep me motivated as well because I like seeing how they're getting on and seeing them pursue their passion. I think having a good like support network around you is really important, especially if there are other people who want to create manga and are very serious about creating manga. Because I find like a lot of people are a bit flippy floppy when it comes to creating manga, but I found a really good group of people who are really serious about creating manga, and I think that's really helped my motivation out as well. Because there's some people I'm friends with who are like in the Viz Media one-shot program. I have someone who used to publish with Tokyo Pop back in like the mid-2000s who I'm close friends with. You know, there's a range of people I'm close friends with that keep me motivated as well. And I will say I am definitely the youngest in our group. I'm like I think I am the youngest person in our like little group. Thank you for TK likes, by the way, folks. I really appreciate it. Also, I will say, you just kind of got to be obsessed with your manga series. Like, I'm obsessed with my characters, and drawing them in general. I have been for, like, I don't know, the last 7 years or so. So for me, it's a satisfaction of bringing them to life, and I actually have a story associated with them, that rather than just drawings of them. Okay, draw the rest of Riki's face in. Right, and then we put that in. Right, put the pupils in. Alright, and then that needs to go that way, and then we need to draw a shadow under her neck. And then one more line down here. Alright, and then we need to draw her hair in. Yeah, because I think that's the only detail about Riki we need to put in now. Okay. Hair. Yeah, there we go. Right, and then that needs to come down here. And that's already down here. Well, actually, maybe we just put it slightly behind, and then we'll have some parts coming down there. There we go. Alright, and then if we put a white background behind Rukia here. Da-da-da-da. Right, that should cover everything. And then I'm just going to quickly put an outline around Rukia here. Because I know that she probably needs to stand a bit more from the background. Same with Larkin and Fletcher here. So where is their white layer? I think it's this one. I think Malachi might be alright. There you go. Right, okay, and then we've got the background for this one. Hey, we're always done with the lighthouse, folks. Oh my word. I really want to make a manga. I can't wait to actually start it, but I can't do it, which is really annoying because I pick up the pen and then I can't use it. What I find is, like, I didn't draw the first page of my manga at first. I drew the first page of my chapter 1 last. So it might help you if you start on the later scene of your chapter 1 and then come back to your first page. That's what I found made it work for me and how I got started. Because I felt like I put too much pressure to make the first page feel amazing, you know? So I think maybe start from there. Right, pencil line art. Let's put this all down. Okay, I'll adjust the background line arts, like in terms of like line thickness and stuff at the end. I'm just gonna get it all down first. We'll put this down. Put it down that way. Grand Travel Clock. Put that down there. Yeah, thanks. I'll give it a try. Yeah, it said you might. I found doing it that way got me started. It's worth giving it a shot and seeing if that works for you. Because yeah, it said like I found the pressure on the first page was too much for me, so I started somewhere else in my chapter. But now I just work in order in my chapters. But yeah, it's like that first initial chapter. Like once you get it done, you feel like you can continue onwards. But what I find a lot of people do, they get stuck in rewriting and redrawing chapter 1 over and over again, and then they just get stuck in this loop, and then they never progress. So it's like once you get that chapter 1 done, like finish it, it's done, and just move on. You know what I mean? Otherwise you never get anything done. Alright, bring that upwards. Alright, and these are all just curtains coming down here. Right, and then we've got a window and a chair over here. let's draw the rest of this chair in. Right, and then we can draw the window in, and then that should be the last bit of our line art. Right, okay, let's reduce the line art width in this background here. And then we can start on the screen tones, which is nice. Honestly, I feel like we got the line art done a lot quicker than I thought for this, so, which is good. Okay, so is that going to be good? It might be better like that. Okay, let me just preview this for a sec. I'm just going to check how the line weight is doing throughout this page. Okay, it's pretty similar. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I think we can reduce the line weight on this one though. I think you can just go down to 1. Or does it need to be 2 pixels? Okay. Let's start on the screen tones then. So let's make a new folder, screen tones. Alright, let's start with Larkin, because he's the easiest one to do for my memory. Alright, that goes down there. Right, and then put 90 in for the shadows. 90. Okay, and then let's select the 70 layer here. Turn that off so we can see what we're doing. What music is this? Can we skip this? Skip this? Oh my word, why is my shuffle so terrible at the moment? I do not get this. Ay, 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 ay. Up here. Thank you so much for the follow, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Lucid. You just join as I'm doing the screen tones. Alright, put these shadows down. Let's continue with that. Right, and then put the shadow down there, shadow down here. Brilliant. Okay, then if we turn her back on and put the highlights in. There we go, okay, and then we put that shadow down there. Just to make it stand out a bit more. Thank you so much for the like as well, Lucid, I appreciate it. And then if you put the 50 down here. And then 50 in these parts as well. Right, and then we need 60 for the shading. Let's just do this out. Okay, that's selects the 50 now. Alright, and put that down here. And down there. That should be fine for his next scarf. Okay, and then 90 for his vest down here. Right, and then it's 80 for the back of his vest, which I think would probably show there as well. Right, and then this needs to be a grayscale layer. Lock into pattern, we need to increase the size of that. So it goes like that, and then we turn it to tone. Right, and then we just got 10 for shading the white parts now. There we go. And then keep going with that. And bring that all the way across. Put that down there. Put the shadow down there. Keep going, keep going. Right, and then, oh yeah, we need shadows under the hair down here too, that's fine. And then I think we want to do this inner mouth, if we can select it to be 30. Alright, yeah, let me go in with the screen tone brush here. Right, and then Malachi. Malachi. Alright, and then we've got to remember his palms are lighter, so we just need to rub some of that out. And same with this hand over here, we need to rub some of it off. There we go. Okay, and then it should be 30 for his palm colour. Right, so we're down here. There we go. That's more like Malachi. Right, and then let's do his face as well. It's not putting inside, I think. Okay, where's my rubber? I need to reduce the size of this. What application are you using? I'm using Clip Studio Paint, but specifically I'm using the professional version, so the more expensive version of Clip Studio. But if you want all your like comic making tools, it is in the professional version. But yeah, I said definitely worth upgrading if you are quite serious about making manga. I said I literally cannot live without the features in it now, so definitely worth upgrading if you're planning on making a longer manga series. Alright, so let me just put a 60 shadow down here. Put it down there. Shadow. Same with down here. And down there. Underneath the hair. Okay, and then 70 for his top lip because it's darker. Like so. Right, let's put the 50 back on. Right, and then 50, because I have to put the part of his ear here. Right, and then he should have 10 for a scar. Thank you so much for the like, I really appreciate it. Right, and then let's shade in his hair whilst we're here. Okay, and then if we do parts that need to be back here, so it'd be here. Oh, I didn't draw all the lines in for this actually. So it needs to be metal here, and that needs to continue that direction too. Alright, and then it's 30 for this top here. Oh, it's back down here. And then 70 for this. We put a highlight in it and down there. Okay, and then we can put some metal shading in. Like that. Okay, and then we can also put them on this. Alright, and then his shoulder. That needs to come upwards. So let's get a gradient. Just bring that up. And we'll just need to make sure this is all filled in that we need. Down here. And down there. Okay, and then we need to fix that part that is not completely filled in black down here. Alright, let me get Malachi's ref out because we need to do some patterns on that in a second. But I'm just going to put in the harsh blacks in for this to put all the shadows in. So if I put that all in. Bring that all the way down here as well. We keep going with that. Right, and then I want it black down here, but I'm just going to keep the outline of his collar here, just so it doesn't get lost in the darkness. Right, and bring that down. Right, that should be good enough. So if we put that back on, right, and then what we want to do now, we want to put in the highlights. So we've got the circle down here that we need. Right, and then we've got one going up down that way, one going down here, and some dots. Right, and then this one is more of a dotted line going down here. Then we've got a more solid one, and then we've got another dotted line going down there, and then another solid one down there, and then another dotted one down there. There we go. Right, and then we need 80 for his arms here. Right, let's select this. Alright, let's put some shadows in. And then I'm going to draw some knuckles in here. Right, and then we want some star patterns on here too, or just like some sparkly things. So where is my effect brush? We need light twinkle. I think it's 2 we want. Okay, wait for my PC not to lag. There we go. I kind of want to make this one darker on that side and bring that downwards, like so. Alright, and then it's 50 for his vest down here. Alright, and then we've got a pattern that we need to throw under this as well. So let's select the areas that we need. Right, in my favourites I have it. Where would it be though? Well, I think it's higher up. Yeah, here it is. There's a little bit of a pattern that he has on his vest going on. There we go. Right, okay, and then if we do the background here, select all of this. Right, and then we kind of want it to go this direction, but I don't want it to be that dark because it should be fairly light in this room. So I'm gonna like this. Right, and then we've got this one over here as well that we need to put in a slightly darker colour. Right, and then overall we want a slightly darker one going down that way. Right, and then let's go below the white layer here. And let's put a right wall around. Right, and then I'm just going to make sure none of the white went onto the lower panels. Otherwise it'd be a pain to fix. And then we need to go onto our firefly brush. I'll just place some sporadically down here, like so. I wonder maybe it would be better to do his open mouth in black, just because the detail from afar is not very obvious that he has his mouth open. So if I go like that. And maybe I could draw some teeth in as well. Like so. Maybe that's easier to read then. And then I feel like the shadow on his neck can be a bit darker. Yeah, just makes his jaw a bit stronger then. Right, and then how am I going to do this? Right, we know there's going to be a gradient here anyway. So if you drag that down there. I think we can make it pretty dark, honestly. I think we'll get away with that. Let me just tidy that up for the eye. Right, and then that needs to be put in. And then if we select this portion, we just need it to be shaven a bit to get a little bit of a fade. Oh, and this part's not selected. There we go. Right, so if we select this, and put the shadows all in onto his face, around his nose, under his jaw. Right, and then his upper lip's also going to be dark, so let's put that in. Right, and then if you turn that back on. Right, and then if we put some white shading in now. And put it downwards. Alright, metal shine. Right, Let's do his shawl again. Right, okay, and then let's select that. Then if we do all the shading in black again, like so, we'll put some heavy shadows in. Oh, I'll bring that all the way up here, maybe. Okay, so that goes there. Right, and then if we put the white highlight, because technically we should see some of this flow back through. I don't think it really matters what they look like too much, because we're going to be rubbing some of this out anyway. It should kind of fade away on this side. Right, and then I don't know if it's in 60. I think this might be in 60 on accent, so let me just erase that out. Okay, so let's do Fletcher now. I think that makes sense. And put that all in. Right, and then if I select that, we need, oh actually I don't want to select all the 10, I want to put a bit of 20 in, which I don't think I have yet on my screen tone layers. We select that, turn that off. Let's put the shadows in for the hair. Ba-ba-da-bum. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Right, and then there was one part. Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, so let's turn that back on. Let's put some highlights into Fletcher's hair here. Hype for more Malachi scenes, yes. There's so much more Malachi in volume 2, Kiwi. But yeah, we're working very hard on chapter 12 at the moment, and it should be the last chapter for the first arc. And it's also the last chapter for volume 2, so it's just timed really well. But yeah, it's near the end of arc 1 now here. So I'm super pleased to get this page done. But I love Malachi. I always say, like, Malachi is like, I don't know, I would say it's probably one of my favourite characters in the Pieces of Left. He's so much fun to write. I think that's why. He's really fun to write. Right, and then if you put 20 in. Although I feel like my art's dramatically improved by the end of this volume as well, compared to volume 1. It's a lot stronger. Oh yeah, his eyes are going to be 30. I'm not going to be bothered to put the highlight in for that. He looked like he would be super fun to bring into Sheens, just to make Fletcher anxious. Yeah, he's definitely the key tool for that. I love Malachi and Fletcher's dynamic so much, considering they've been this way for the last 2 years. But I kind of I don't know if I explained it in volume 1. I guess I did explain it in chapter 5, I think. How Malachi and Fletcher kind of came to be. I literally can't remember. I would have to go back and read exactly. But they've known each other a bit longer than those 2 years in a detective unit. So the history goes a bit further back than that. Alright, and then we put that in, and then it's 90 for his trousers. And then 70 for the inside of his jacket. Keep all of this. Good at drawing, it's looking super cool, thank you! I said, I'm hoping I can get chapters 12 done by end of year. I'd love to get volume 2 out for start of the new year. I think that'd be really good. But yeah, thank you very much. I said, I'm uploading, I've decided to change my upload schedule, so I'm uploading like 1 page at a time on Webtoon now. I'm not doing like a full chapter release once it's done. Just because this chapter is really long. It's like 42 pages long, I think. So it's the longest chapter since the first chapter. So it's almost the same length as that first chapter, which is kind of crazy. But it's needed for the epilogue. So, but yeah, it's been fun so far. But yes, thank you very much. I will continue to work hard as possible. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right, then put a shadow in here. Right, and then we put a shadow in here. Right, and then we need to also shape that in to go with the coat. Right. Right, hey. Open mouth. Right, and then, oh, I see, we've forgotten this part down there, there we go. Okay, and then we've got Larkin back here. So let's do Larkin. Because Larkin's observing as always. Right, that goes down there. Alright, and then that's been shaded down here. Rightio. Okay, and then we do 50 for his next scarf and stuff. I'm not going to bother shading all of that in. His trousers only ever had, I will shade a bit in. Put that down that way. Right, we need some shading under the neck here. I guess we could put some in for the shadows under the hair pieces here, but, and then we want 10 for down here. I mean, we could just be that all shadow, to be fair. Okay, and then we want his hair and eyes shaded now. So if we do, oh, where's my bucket tool? There we go. Right, okay, and then if I select this, Alright, put all the shading in for this. Down here, down there. Keep going. There we go. Okay. And we turn that on, and then we go with the white, put some highlights in for Larkin's hair. Right, and then we need a highlight in his eye as well, so let's put that, let's put that down here. Right, and then everything else for that panel, hopefully for the background, we can just do a gradient for all the objects and then for the background, so let's make it easy. I don't want to be too long on doing the backgrounds here. Shade that all in. Keep that going. Down there. Oh yeah, and then this complicated thing. Put that all in. I swear everything's suited for this. See what it is. And down here. Right, and then we got to oh, that is suited. Okay, I thought it wouldn't let me screen tone that. Then there we go. And this will be screen toned in. Right, and then we do have a pillar here, so I will also do that in a slightly darker tone. Okay, right here, and then select this all again. Right, and then we should some screen tone like that, something like that, but a bit more subtle, please. Like so. Okay, and let's put a white background behind these characters now. So this is panel 2. I think it must be this layer we need to do on then. Yup, okay. Okay, let's make it a bit more gentle. There we go. Right, and then we should be able to also put some fireflies in here too. Just into the background, there we go. I just love Ruki's flying head. I might just increase the white for this, which is going to be 15 now. Right. Okay, and then we just got a close up of Malachi's face now. Thank you so much for the like. I really appreciate it. Put that in. Right, and then let's select this 50 layer. We're going to put some shading in for that now. Oh, actually, before I do that, I just need to put a fade on his hair here. If it lets me do it, I need to select the right layer. That's okay. There we go. Right, now we can select this again, and there we go. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bam. Right, and then we can put all the shading in. Well, hey. And shadow enters in the nose. Put some around his nose there. Right, and then put some down there. Right, and then we need the top lip done as well, so let's do that. Right, and then we do need a 10 for his eyes here. Right, and then his scar is also going to be 10. Also, I'm just saying, there's a piece where we can probably put a bit of 50 in, which is just below his eyelash down here. There we go. Right, so we put some metal parts down here. Let's work on his hair shading. Whoa, that thing looks a bit impressive as fuck, thank you. How are you doing? Is that I'm working on my manga at the moment, so specifically a page from chapter 12 I'm working on at the moment. Right, and bring it down that way. Ooh. I'm going to be painting a neck to shade in, apparently. Ooh! I'm just realising I forgot to do that line out again for his collar here. Because there needs to be some metal parts down here. And then there should be another one that goes on there. There we go. Right, and then we need some black that goes down here. Same with his shoulder down there. Okay, and then again we can go in with the metal shading down here then. Right. Make sure everything's selected. Right, and then we need a gradient going upwards. Maybe a bit darker than that. Something like that. I'm gonna get. I don't think I'm gonna draw that one single line going upwards. I think we can get away with not drawing it in. I think we can draw some harsher shadows in though. What year or age is your manga set in? 1893. 1893. So late Victorian era. Yeah, all the backgrounds and stuff on the outside are all based off of real locations in Bath. So I tried to be a bit accurate to the actual location itself as well. Alright, and then we got Rukia. Rukia. Alright, and then let's erase all of this out. There we go. Alright, and then if it's like this. Oh, actually, we don't have any 40. Okay, let's put the 40 down. Right, and then let's select this again. And then we can add some shading in to our skin. Put that on there. Push this slight shadow under her nose. And then actually I think we can probably just make this all 40 down where her neck is. Alright, and then if you turn that back on. Oh, actually we need to draw her upper lip. Before I forget. There you go. Okay, put that down. Also, technically, the hair strand wouldn't be there. How am I gonna get rid of this? Without really getting rid of the entire strand. Aye. Right, so technically it goes like that. Right, and that goes down there. Oh my word. My brushes are so big. I don't know why they're so big. There we go. Right, and then I think I should be able to just select her curls here. So we select this layer. And then we should just be able to fill that all in with 70. And then we can fill in the gaps. Right, and put that shadow down there. Right, and then if we select this, we're going to put 90 in for the shading. So that goes down there. Right, then we keep going with that. Right, and then I'll put some basic shading into the colours down here as well, which takes me a million years to do. Put shadow down there. Oh, I hate shading Ricky's hair. I go down that way. Okay, I think that might be good enough. Okay, and then let's put highlights into our hair here. And put that down there. Like that. Brilliant. Okay, and then it's just been 90 for the back of our hair here. Right, and then 50 for this part. Right, and then we want some shading down here. Right. Hey. Oh, I'm getting so tired, but I want to get this page done. what device do you use? What device do you use? What app is it? Okay, so the device I'm using is a Cintiq 32. This is my tablet. This is what I'm working on. It's by Wacom, and then the program I'm using to draw in is Clip Studio Paint, but specifically it's the Expert Edition of Clip Studio Paint, so it has more comic features, essentially. It's a bit more expensive. Right, and then let me just add some harsher shadows down here. And keep going with that. Okay, and then we need to draw the white part again. Base goes down there, and it was just, we could just draw some random lines. Okay, and then we can rub some of them out. It's not that important, we just need like a hint of it there. Malachi. Right, and then we need to draw his fade. Right, let's draw the rest of his hair shading in. Bring that downwards. Shading for the metal as well we need to do. Oh, that's cool. I plan for mine to be around 400 to 500 AD in Rome. Of course, a bit more high tech because of magic, but not much different. Nice, that's sick. I didn't really know many manga set in Rome at that time, like ancient Rome. That'd be sick. It sounds cool. I really like historical manga with magic. It is totally my vibe. I love stuff like that. Definitely the sort of series I gravitate towards. Alright, and then we want it's just 50 because I can see a white gap here. Alright, and then we want to select the 50 layer here. I don't know if we've done shading. Yeah, let's use shading. Shade done there. Oh, that's the wrong screen tone. 19, please, thank you. Right, and then it's 80 for the back. Push it in down there. Oh yeah, I think we might actually get this page done today, which I didn't think I would actually, but I'm glad that I'm probably going to get it done today. The music can just go directly straight up onto Webtoon, so. Right, like his hair. Right, and then we need to do shading for that hair. The main villain is a demon lord, and the MC and his group of friends go on a journey filled with ups and downs, all the way to the demon lord. Nice. Yeah, so it kind of reminds me. I don't know if you've ever heard of a series called like Sayuki. It's like one of my favorite like anime series. Very similar-esque plot, but I will tell you, it's not set in ancient Rome. Nor would I think that your concept is probably that similar to it. But like the general like basic outlines for very same, which is a good sign because I love Sayuki. So it's not like you got like a good strong like outline, which is good. Because sometimes like plots can get so convoluted, that it's hard for people to describe their manga series. Right, let's put the highlights in. Put some down there. Okay. Let's put one down on purchase handle. Oh, I didn't want all of that to be shaded. Okay, let's just cut off of it here. Alright, let's control some of the shading now. That down that way. Alright, and then just coat. Put shading under his neck here. Alright, okay, now let's select the 50 layer. I will shade in his coat. Go down there. Ba, 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 ba. Bring that downwards. Just to find out who the real villain is, actually back in the capital, but who could it be? Sorry. Who could it be? Is it the king of the knights, captain, the commoners? Yeah, so it seems like there's a lot of mystery in your series, which I like. Because personally, I'm not fond of like full battle training mangas. Like, I enjoy some of it, but not all of it. Like, I'm more of a mystery person generally myself, but I do like a bit of fighting here and there. Okay, so that's selected. Brilliant. Okay, so let's select the rest of our hair, put that all in 70. Right, and then we need to shade in. You can tell I'm getting tired, folks. I'm so exhausted. I can't wait for this page to be done and then I upload it. I definitely need to get some sleep. Bring that downwards. Bring that shadow down. Bring that downwards. Right, okay, let's put some highlights in Rukia's hair now. Now that's all shaded in. And then we'll put the darker shadow behind her neck and stuff afterwards. Hiya, how you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful evening. I'm very tired at the moment. I'm almost done with this page though. So I'm nearly at the finishing line. Right, okay, let's put 90 down there. Right, and then we need 30 for her skin tone here. Oh, and we need lighter palms as well for her hands there, so we'll do that as well. Yeah, so lighter palms, let's put that in. Okay, and then we need 10 for lighter palms. There we go. Right, let's select the 30 and let's put some shadows in. What equipment are you using to draw? I need to know what to look for when buying my digital gear. Yeah, so I'm personally using a Cintiq 32 by Wacom. Wacom is like the most like well-known graphics tablets out there. I have like the largest graphics tablet that they've ever produced, so you definitely don't need one my size. But they're very good. They're very reliable. But there are cheaper like brands out there now for digital art tablets. And the program I'm using is Clip Studio Paint, which is really good for drawing in for comics. Or if you do like anime kind of illustrations, it's very good for that as well. Alright, then bring that in. Bring that in, there we go. Alright, and then if you put all of that shading in. Okay, Legend, thank you so much. No problem. I'm always happy to help and give advice, so. That goes all into 20. Right, and then, I don't know why I keep doing this. Right, so this needs to be 50 down here. Right, and then her skirt is going to be white. If you do it downwards like that. Down here, I forgot to draw the rest of that, so let's shade that in. Alright, oh yeah, we need to do the pattern on her bodice before I forget. This should be this one. Okay, we need to put it above the screen tone. 1 sec, there we go. Right, and then I'm going to select the 50 layer and I'm going to put some shading in. Thank you so much for the like, I really appreciate it. Right, okay, and then if I erase like that, so there's some shading under her bodice. Right, okay, and then I can get in like that. Right, so we only got the background now. Ooh, hey, we're almost there. We're almost there. I'm so glad. Okay, so the background should be fairly easy here. What I kind of want to do, I think if we keep it one shade, so go something like that, and then do the same on the other side. Okay, and let's fix this up. So if we go rid of that. What I kind of want to do is like a white sort of light coming from the window. I'm not going to figure out how to do this though. So like that. It's like getting. Okay, like that. Something like that, maybe. Right, and then we can still put the white aura around the characters here. Especially Malachi, we can. And Fletcher. Right, let me preview this. I want my manga to be freedom, revenge, redemption, power, and mystery. Nice, nice. I love it. I love stuff like that. Right. How's that looking from page to page? Sorry, I'm just thinking, folks. I do apologise. I know what's missing. We need Firefly for this last panels. Yeah. So if we do that, yeah, and then bring that in. Alright, and then I feel like I want to draw like one sweat line on Larkin over here. Because I feel like he should be reacting to Malachi's comment panel before a little bit. Which would be panel 2. Oh, Antony head. Ah, that's what's missing. FX. The swish line is what we're missing quite majorly. FX. Movement lines. New layer. And I feel like there's something here. I don't know. Something like that, maybe. Oh, actually, I think something like this is probably better. You gotta. I'm just like fiddling with things now. I do apologise, folks. You're just gonna get me fiddling with things. I just acted recklessly. He pulled a Fletcher, as you will, but Fletcher can protect himself. I didn't teach him to act like me. I told him to stay put several times. He's just like it. And that's the CSID, risks and all. I think we need the explanation point at the end of that. You're missing the point. No, I get it, Mally. What Larkin did to trust in himself and his team. When you do work as a team, like last night, that's the standard I aim for. And others. I feel like we got teams twice here, which is probably not what we need. I think himself and others is probably a bit better. I'm just thinking how to format this a bit better. Himself and others. When you do work in a team like last night, that's the standard I aim for. Did you hear the bells in the building? Morale's up on a Sunday. Okay, I feel like this needs to be kind of like a mana sort of sound effect. Something like that. Something like and then this one is just like final like details and fixing dialogue and things like this and this sort of nature. I think if you do like an explanation point. Okay. And then if you do like a white outline around that. And if we make it like 10 on something. Whoa, Dico. Last night, that's the standard I aim for. Did he hear? Hear the birds in the building last night. Oh, not last night. Did he hear the birds in the building? Yeah. Morale's up on a Sunday. Alright, okay. Let's preview this from a double spread for a second. Let's see how it's sticking now. Actually, that could be moved just a tad over. Right, can you let me 3D preview it, please? Right, there we go. There's so many things to always consider. Let's just reduce that slightly. And same with this one over here. Can I select this one without selecting everything else? Yeah, like that. Definitely needs to be as dark. I kind of want him sighing here. Why is it? Right, and then... I don't really necessarily need the white outline around this square. This is how the black will do, I think. Okay. I feel like I'm gonna have to stop messing around with this page. Otherwise I'll be here for like forever. Okay, let's do one final preview and then I'll probably finish it for that. Finish it up there, I feel like. That'd be a very good point. Wait for this to load. Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot better. It looks more expressive now. Like, I feel like the character is emoting more, which is good. That's what I want. Okay, I like that. Okay, well, thank you so much for everyone who's joined the stream today. That's gonna be where I'm gonna leave it. If you want more from me or you want to chat to me, I will be on my Discord server. You can find the link to that in the link in my bio. You can always drop me a follow on TikTok or anywhere else I'm at. But yes, thank you so much for joining me, and I will all see you next time I live stream, which hopefully should be sooner rather than later. So until then, I'll see you later. Bye bye.